Recently, I seen a video on someone bashing Midoriya for My Hero Academia, which if I'm honest, a lot of his points or criticism was well warranted and backed up. So this isn't an argument or anything similar to that. This is me simply saying why I think Midoriya is a great protagonist in his own show, then also in anime as a whole. He's different, more relatable to someone on a grounded level. I'll be using other shows and characters from other animes. Then I'll try not to use manga spoilers, only including anime only references. Just for the fact I like to watch the anime season, then read the manga. I can't front. I am reading the war arc right now, and one thing, Hawks is the MVP of that arc, and please don't let nothing happen to my guy. And on that note, it's time for introductions. My name's Lamont, and I told you what this video will be about, so let's just smash right into it. Starting with the premise. When I first watched this, I thought Midoriya was going to get gadgets or something like that. Sherlock Holmes when he slows down time to think how he's going to fight someone, or Jack Sparrow having absurd plans that always work out. But no, he gets lucky running into All Might. But before we go into that, let's look at earlier Midoriya. Nobody believed in him. Not even his own mother. She couldn't tell him the beautiful lie or have blind faith in him that he could still become a hero. And even when Izuku met his idol, he told him, "You can't be a hero." Isn't that relatable? Haven't we all tried to pursue something and everyone is doubting us? Sometimes even our own parents. I know you can relate. I know I can. It feels good to prove those people wrong, but after that, the next character moment that happens to me is when Midoriya walks by the sludge villain. Seeing his bully Kacchan in trouble, he immediately blames himself, which it is his fault, but once he sees Kacchan's eyes, he runs to save this guy with a 0 chance, which isn't brave or anything, it's stupid, like really stupid, but he does it anyway, all because it looked like Bakugo needed help. Knowing that, he couldn't help his bully, but still tried failing miserably. But Izuku does this throughout the whole story, trying to help even when he knows he shouldn't or he can't, cause it's just his hero way. But let's look at other animes. Ichigo from Bleach goes to the Soul Society to save Rukia with a guy that has a super arm, a guy that has a energy bow, and a cat. I know I'm downplaying here, but this team should be nothing for the Soul Society. Now, keep in mind, Ichigo got mollywopped by a captain he couldn't even see move. Now he wants to go somewhere where there are 12 more of those guys with their subordinates. I know he has a Bankai, but so do all the captains, except one, for now. And another one? Luffy from One Piece goes to save his brother during the Paramount War with the Whitebeard pirates and the world government. And then he gets closer. After fighting, Luffy just has 3 obstacles in his way that happen to be some of the strongest marines in the government, and all he has in hand is a log to fight 3 admirals. Keep in mind, one admiral beat all the Straw Hats single-handedly, effortlessly, and another one almost beat all the Supernovas by himself. Now remember, there is no Gear 4th, and Luffy can't use Haki, and Garp is after those 3 obstacles. Who beat the Rock's pirates, who had Big Mom, Kato, Whitebeard, all 3 who are Emperors of the Sea, and I'm not even going to include Sengoku, the Fleet Admiral. But Luffy, Ichigo, and Midoriya don't act selfless in these acts, but simply are self-sabotaging themselves for failure. But in the end, they all work out fine, except Luffy or Ace. Most of them come out fine because they decided to do something other than nothing. And that's rooting for the underdog, which most main characters are in shonen. Midoriya receiving All Might's powers, at first I felt like it would be better if he remained quirkless. That would be better because obviously you're going to be the #1 hero if you receive the #1 hero's quirk. But then you find out there were 7 others before Toshinori, All Might's real name. That means it's not cut and dry that Midoriya will be the #1 hero. Obviously he will be because he's the main character, but you learn there were 7 other failures before All Might. 6 of them had quirks of their own. 7 never got big names and were only small heroes. 2 of them have no records, no information can even be found about them. They were all taken out by All for One, except All Might. So Midoriya has some hoops or arms to break through. Let's look at Naruto from Naruto. He's a Jinchuriki. Almost every time he's in trouble in part 1, the Nine Tails saves the day. When he's fighting Haku, the Nine Tails chakra slips out, powers him up, he beats up Haku. Orochimaru, when Naruto was, I don't want to say fighting, so I would say entertaining Orochimaru, the Nine-Tails chakra was slipping out, which Orochimaru was a candidate to be the 4th Hokage, a legendary Sannin who could bring back the 1st Hokage and the 2nd Hokage, was scared of just a little of this Nine-Tails chakra releasing, and put another seal on top of that. Neji versus Naruto, the main character should have lost there, but didn't. I mean, Neji was beating the living crap out of Naruto. He even closed all of his chakra points, but Kurama's chakra came and saved the day. Are you understanding where I'm coming from? If not, here's another one. When fighting Gaara, he had to use the Nine-Tails chakra, and the Nine-Tails itself, sorta. And Sasuke versus Naruto the first time, I won't include any of part 2 from Naruto, because my hero isn't in part 2, or a time skip hasn't happened. Kinda in the manga. So what I'm trying to say is, in Naruto, the show practically says if you master the Nine-Tails chakra, you'll beat anybody and become the Hokage easily. So back to Midoriya or my hero. Just because Izuka got a powerful quirk doesn't mean he'll be the #1 hero if he only masters his quirk. That is just not true, necessarily speaking. So the show says to us, the audience, that the hero makes the quirk, not the quirk makes the hero. The next thing I want to touch on is the UA Sports Festival. Arc is when All Might tells Midoriya to win and announce himself as the next symbol of peace. So through the whole festival, Midoriya is working his absolute hardest to win, to make All Might proud, and to do his wishes. Isn't that relatable? I'm sure we all have that one person in life we want to make proud, but seem to not make them proud no matter how hard we try. But Izuku's next big moment is when he's fighting Todoroki, which he probably could have won if he practiced what he preached. Throughout the whole fight, Midoriya is telling Shoto that he can't win this fight without using his full power. And right before Shoto uses his flame side, Midoriya says something.
It's yours! Your quirk, not his!
It's yours. It's yours, is what he says. Then Shoto ignites and defeats Midoriya. If Izuku would have taken his own advice and knew that one for all was his and not Toshinori's, maybe he could have won. After that, when Midoriya sees All Might, he cries because he feels he let his idol down, the closest person to a dad, down. That's a character. That's something that's relatable to anyone. And then he decides to go by Deku as a hero name, which his childhood bully called him all the time. Now he wants everyone to call him that. Why? Because he wants to make that name mean something else other than the useless. Now here comes something, the power system. And my hero makes sense. And when Midoriya fought Stain, he was only using 5%, not full power. And Stain has faced superpowered beings before, so I'm sure Stain has faced some heroes who hit really hard. So I'm willing to believe that, but Muscular taking a full 100% punch, that makes no sense to me at all. So some of the power scaling is a bit off to me. Deku always beats his villains that he faces, mostly with real repercussions. He almost went to jail and nobody knew Ida, Shoto, and Deku were the ones to defeat Stain. So he couldn't get no clout from that. And when he fought Muscular, he messed up his arm so badly that he only has a few more times to break it. But the hero killer Stain was going to let Deku live because he felt he was a worthy hero. And Deku protects people's ideals, like when Bakugo and him went against All Might, punching Kachan in the face when he said he'd lose before accepting help from Midoriya, or going along with Gentle Criminal's lie to protect La Brava. Deku mostly acts irrational, but by going to save Bakugo when he got abducted by the handmaiden Shigaraki, I felt Deku was being altruistic, cause he went with people well versed with their quirks, and pro heroes were there. He also didn't have the information that All For One was there or in that building at the time, so Deku went for small cheeses, but little did he know the big cheese was there. Nonetheless, All Might was coming, and him being there did help the #1 hero in fighting All For One. Deku's ideals hasn't been shown that much, beside the fact that he always wants to do the right thing and try to be the best hero, similar to All Might, which I feel there's nothing wrong with that. Let's look at Naruto, where the show has a phrase called inheriting the will of fire or someone else's ideals. Why can't you look at Midoriya the same way? He's inheriting his predecessor's will of fire and powers to carry that out. Though I do feel Mirio does a better job at showing, and did deserve One For All more than Izuka. Let's talk about a Western hero, Green Lantern. The ring was supposed to go to Guy Gardner, not Hal Jordan, but because Hal Jordan was closer, he got the ring. So because All Might saw this quirkless boy similar to himself go and attempt to try to save someone he had no chance of saving, Deku got One For All. And so to speak, All Might's will of fire because Toshinori saw potential, a hero in the making. Now Mirio is one of my favorite characters in My Hero. All Might is first and Mirio would be my second. That being said, Mirio's sacrifice was a main character moment because his hard work that he put into mastering his quirk all went away just to make sure a little girl doesn't get hurt. Mirio doesn't get his dream of saving a million people like his hero-inspired name, but he works himself to death to get that, and he has no regrets about it. One quick thing, I wish My Hero had more ideology fights, but I know Bakugo and Midoriya was an emotional moment and making Eri smile was an emotional. The show has tons of emotions, just lacks different ideologies. For now, only in the anime. But after the Rescue Eri arc was over, it was supposed to say why Deku deserved one for all over Mirio, but it doesn't. It just proves Lemillion deserved it more. But Midoriya being himself offers one for all to Mirio, but Mirio being himself says no with a smile. I want to say Deku doesn't deserve one for all right now, and that's okay because it shows he still has character growth until we see him truly become worthy of this power. And one more thing I want to talk about, Midoriya using his legs more than punching. I feel it was a great moment and a perfect power up for him by removing the All Might thinking shackles and only doing things All Might does. So punching, it's Deku becoming his own hero. Look at his hero suit. At the start of the show and at the end of season 4, it's different. It's his suit is growing to fit his quirk and his fighting style. I like that because he's removing his psychological barriers so he can become his own hero. And if you don't like that power up, let's look at Meliodas from 7 Deadly Sins. He didn't have access to all his power because if he did, he'd destroy the world because he watched his girlfriend die. Okay, Toby. But I love that because it's not a time skip or anything. He's always had these powers but just couldn't use them because of a psychological barrier similar to Deku. So I'm going to send you guys off with this. And I don't want to make this video an hour long. So I'll say this. Izuku Midoriya is relatable as shit. He does act like a bitch. He does let people walk all over him. And so are we as people sometimes, but we do know when someone crosses the line we have to stick up for ourselves, just like Midoriya does. His ideals may be similar to his masters, but we've seen that done amazing in other animes. Deku is just a dreamer like all of us, and he's trying to make his dreams a reality like all of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say, or get across, is why Midoriya is a great character is he's relatable as heck. He doesn't have that flat character arc, so you're going to see change in him from the world around him, and see him become the hero worthy of being the #1 hero, and worthy of having one for all powers. So that's it on me worshipping Deku. Next My Hero Academia video will be why Class 1A is more relatable than you think, and if you like this, then like this, and on that note, this video is officially over.